Hi, sisters. I married my wife 7 years ago and found out in November last year that she cheated on me with an older man. I've been hurt ever since, but I've been trying hard to forgive her because of our kids. Anytime she gets close to me, I become brokenhearted all over again. How do I forgive her and forget what happened? I've prayed about it on several occasions, but the pain still remains. I think she thinks I've moved on, but that's not the case at all. I need help. What do you ladies think I can do? Okay. Sabby, would you want to take this first?
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, my brother. You need more than prayer here. I'm sorry. You need to be awake for your life. Okay? You're clearly shaken, you're clearly devastated, and you're clearly broken. But the first mistake you've made is going down this journey alone. I'm very concerned about the fact that you're saying that your wife thinks you're over it. That's a very dangerous place to be, because it's almost like you guys are living two different realities. There's certain phases I think that you need to go through. The same as if a loved one passes on. You know, there are phases that you have to go on before you heal. And I think, I'd say the first one is acceptance. I don't feel like you've accepted that this has happened to you. You have to say with your lips, my wife cheated on me. It needs to be real, because that's exactly what happened. You have to grieve. And one of the things I would say you're grieving is the life that you thought you had, number one, and who you thought she was. Because all of that has changed. It's almost like there now needs to be a rebuilding. Not almost, there has to be a rebuilding. Right? So after you've grieved, you have to heal. You have to give yourself enough time to go through the process that is needed in order to get through this. Not over it, through it. I would then say that you have to revitalize your relationship, and that would need your wife. That's why I'm saying I don't agree with the fact that she thinks that everything's okay, because everything is not okay. There's trust here that needs to be rebuilt. Trust is lost. Trust is gone. And I can think, if I think about it in my mind now, you probably don't even trust when she's gone, when she steps out the house. You probably don't even trust what she says to you. And that's a really, really big problem. I think you have to ask yourself, a few questions. Has she taken the steps to fix the breach of trust? Do you feel that she's changed her ways so that this won't happen again? And do you also feel like, I'm a bit concerned that maybe there's no working towards fixing what has been broken, because of the words you used when you said she thinks that you've moved on. And in order for the trust to come back, you guys have to, work together. You have to be able to let go at some point of everything that has happened and rebuild. And for me, in order to rebuild, it's going to take both of you. You need to talk about how this occurred, why it occurred, what she needs, and also what you need moving forward if this is something that you want to work on. I think he really has to ask himself, does he want to fight for this? Does he want to work for this? But realize that it's going to be one of the hardest things he ever does.
Rosina, do you hold a different opinion, or you can relate?
Yeah. I'm saying that cheating is very difficult to deal with. Even when a man cheats on a woman, especially like your husband cheats on a wife, it's very difficult. How much more when a woman cheats on a man? It's very difficult. They need to address the situation, okay? Because I think that Sabi has said a bit, and I'm sure Olivia will spend like 10 minutes addressing this. But what I would say is that to say that maybe the wife has accepted it, or the wife thinks that he's going over it, means that the children mean so much to him that he found out, he was like, it's okay, I've forgiven you. You do that again, right? Okay, that's fine. But you see, one thing about healing is that you need to talk. You need to talk. If you have to argue it out, you need to argue it out. You need to ask questions. And then the other party should be prepared to answer the same questions 1,000,000 times to make sure that you really understand the thought process. Because you see, when somebody cheats, there's one part of you that's blaming the person. How can he cheat on me? How can he cheat on me? There's another part that's also asking yourself, what did I do? Was it my fault? Is this something I should have done that I didn't do? So there are so many unasked questions in the head. So I think that one thing he should do is to let the wife know that he hasn't really dealt with it. And he's not okay, but he wants to be okay with it. And the fact that he says, I've prayed about it, I'm thinking that he's a spiritual person. So he's not just going to up and leave his wife and children because the woman has cheated, but he probably just needs to be okay. So my recommendation is that, look, if the kids are too young, maybe go drop them off with your mom or with her mom or somebody, or a cat, like, somebody that you really trust. And then you guys should just take off for like a week vacation. And both of you should know that you're taking this vacation to go and discuss issues and make your marriage better. And that vacation doesn't have to be outside of town. I mean, there are so many places in Ghana. There are so many places in Ghana you could visit. Just get a nice place, very serene, very quiet. The two of you can scream at each other if you have to, discuss, ask the questions get answered. You guys get into moments of intimacy. And maybe when you come back, it doesn't mean that everything will be sorted out, but at least it would begin that process so that both of you can really be on the same page. Because as of now, both of you are not on the same page, but both of you think you're on the same page. But when you go through this process, then both of you really know exactly where you are at. And then if that doesn't work, you probably need to see a professional psychologist who will take you through, or psychotherapist, depending upon how much the damage is, who will take you through the whole process, then you can get better. But I really admire you for not taking off, for not sucking the lady, because I don't think it's a very easy place to be in. And for married couples, I think that, why do you want to cheat? Really, why? Because most often than not, after you cheat, there's a lot of regret after that. So why do you want to take yourself through that process? Like I keep saying, if the marriage is stale or you don't want it, the best thing to do is to actually exit. And when you exit, you can have 10 people lined up. It doesn't really matter. But really, let's try and respect the vows that we say to each other. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
All right, let's bring it in studio. Libby?
This guy is a good guy. He's got a good heart, and the fact that he did say he's been praying about it is really sweet of him. I'm going to take it from a spiritual point of view because he seems to me as a Christian. He's a Christian. So you know the text in the Bible that talks about forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And there's also another passage in the Bible, another text in the Bible that talks about the sin of unforgiveness. Every day, God's mercies are new every morning. And as much as it's tough, as much as it's difficult, you've still kept yourself in that situation whereby you're forcing yourself to forgive her. The thing is, you shouldn't be hard on yourself, and forgiveness doesn't come overnight. You should give yourself time to heal. You should give yourself time to process what your wife did to you. Like Savi said, you need to tell yourself that your wife cheated on you. You need to accept it. You need to be able to move on past that. And I think the main reason why you reached out to us is you've prayed about it. So how else do you move on? See a therapist. The sisters have said it. Sabi has said it. Rosie has said it. See a counselor. See somebody who can help you go through the forgiving process. But like I said to you, if you sin every day, everybody is open to sinning. It doesn't justify it, but he who is without sin should cast the first stone. And the question is, has your wife given you any other reason to doubt her after she cheated on you? And the thing is, I feel like you still want to make the marriage work, but you don't know how. So take it one day at a time, accept what she's done, try to forgive her and know that to err is human. And have that conversation with her. I also don't think that it's good that she thinks that you've forgiven her when you've actually not forgiven her. And I think that's all part of the healing process. Have a sit down with her. Okay, have a sit down with her and let her know that, sweetheart, as much as I did tell you that I've forgiven you, it's still in my heart and it's worrying me so much. And as married couples, I find that it usually helps for both of you to talk about these issues and pray on it together. You've been praying on it alone and it's in your heart and you haven't let it go. And she doesn't know. And you're probably making love to her and you're probably thinking what the older man did to her. You have things in your heart, and until you let go, you can't forgive her. And she doesn't know, and that is not helping. So I think let her know exactly how you feel. Open up. This is not time to be macho about it. It's not time to come across as, oh yeah, forgiving you, and then stop. But you haven't. Let her know how you feel. Let her know you're hurting. Let her know you've not been able to go past it. Let her know that you've had sleepless nights because of what she's done. You need to be real about how you feel to her. And then she can appreciate where you're coming from, because as far as she's concerned, everything is okay. And it doesn't help you heal any faster. It doesn't help you forgive her any quicker. So let her know. Once she knows, even her attitude towards you will be more accommodating, more empathetic. Because when she's doing stuff, she'll be like, babe, me pacho, I will do whatever it is I need to do, but me pacho de facheme. So that she knows that you haven't gotten over it, so that she constantly, it means that she has to apologize to you every day or meet you halfway. If she doesn't know where you're at, sweetheart, it's going to be difficult. So you owe it to yourself and you owe it to her to let her know, so she can help you, and you can both pray on it together as a couple who wants the marriage to work. And then you can take it from there. And it's one day at a time. Don't expect that you forget it. You can't forget it over. How many men forget about a cheating wife? It's not easy. So I think you need to be easy on yourself. I think that you need to be open. And then I also think that you need to create more opportunities for you to bond on a genuine note. I feel like it's all been fake so far, and it's not helping the process. You need to be real. You need to take it one day at a time and keep praying on it. I'm sure it will work out.
All right, let me throw this back to you, ladies, because I tend to hear these two words go together a lot. This whole thing about forgive and forget. Is it even a thing? Is it realistic, and must you? Because a lot of people would say, if you don't if you truly forgive, it means that you've forgotten. But I tend to disagree with that.
You don't. You can't forget.
There's no such thing as forgetting. You'll never forget. And I think, aside from it being about forgiving, it's a decision you're making to move forward besides us, even though this has happened, right? And I find that you do it more for yourself than for the other person. Sometimes think about when you've been in the most pain of your life and you want someone to put you under so you can sleep and only wake up when something, when it's over. For me, you'll never forget, but it's a conscious decision you make that you're going to move forward in spite of what has occurred. Right. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I hold the same view.
And I think the mind, I'm also the same. The mind is designed never to forget anything, honestly, unless, of course, you want to forget. The only memory that can forget is actually a hard drive or something. That's when you actually delete it. But for the mind, it doesn't forget, but it's a choice you make. And it's a choice you make because, one, you want it to be cool on yourself. So you want to, you don't want to carry that burden anymore. So you forgive. And secondly, you try and want to understand where the other party is coming from. So you forgive. Or you really want this to work. You forgive. Or you look at the other side, as in the more qualities that the person has, or the more that the person can bring to the table, the sacrifices, and you actually want to accept that this is an honest mistake. So you forgive. So forgiveness is actually a choice you make, so that you don't remind the person every day that this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. However, the forgetting the lie. And then the lady also needs to constantly prove to the guy that she's trustworthy. So forgiveness goes both ways. So I have forgiven you, and you also need to do your part by making me feel like I can trust you again. So what it means is that no disappearing acts, nothing like you get up in the morning, why are you? Oh, I just felt like going here, and I went, no. You step out, you need to let your husband know this is where I'm going, and that's the price you pay for doing what you did.
Jess, do you know there are actually therapists now around the world who use movies to help people.
Movies?
Yeah,
Okay.
they use movies, they use cartoon characters, and you have therapists, professional therapists, sit down and analyze a movie, and they talk people through what the movie said and how therapeutic it is. Like, for example, I saw one recently about a cartoon where there was a therapist sitting in, and then somebody who was waiting to get some advice from the therapist, and it spoke about grief and how the different stages of grief. So now movies are used in one way or the other as a platform to help people solve a lot of problems. So that's something he could also look at. He can go on YouTube. Now you find everything online these days. Find out some more information that can help you. There are therapists online. There are people who've gone through things, people who've gone through forgiveness and phases. So he can read a lot more about what to do as an individual to make his journey a lot more easier. And he can research, Google videos, movies, things that he can watch to help him go through the forgiveness process as well.